What's up, everybody? Renfail here. Welcome back to the channel. If you are a returning visitor and if you're new, well, you're in the perfect place because we're diving into another Baldur's Gate 3 tutorial video. This one is all about the hotbars that you see down here on the bottom. And more importantly, this video is specific to mouse and keyboard. I do a lot of controller guides because I personally play like 90% of my gameplay on the controller, but this one was requested, so we're going to dive into mouse and keyboard and actually talk about the hotbars a little bit. Specifically, we're going to be talking about how to adjust the hotbar to your settings, to your preferred settings, as well as the fact that you can lock it and unlock it, which is something that a lot of people don't know because the buttons are really tiny and they have zero tutorials telling you how to do all of this stuff. So if you're a new player, that's what this guide is for, thus the title, Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Customizing Your Hotbar. I don't know the title of this video yet. We'll figure it out after the fact. But we are going to dive into this today. If you're a new person, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams happen at 11 a.m. Central, sometimes slightly earlier. We do a ton of different things on the channel, so check out all the playlists because there's podcasts around Middle-earth and Dune, and we do film reviews and TV shows. We play lots of other games. There's a Discord channel. There's member videos. There's also a homesteading channel if you want to follow along with what Chris and I do and all the chickens and cats and everything else. But in the meantime, let's talk about hotbars in Baldur's Gate 3. So when you first get started, you're going to see these bars at the bottom. They're going to look very much similar to this, but they might have, they will have much fewer items and abilities and spells on those windows. And there's also things you can do in the settings where you can tell it what things you want to auto-populate and so on and so forth. And then you'll notice here at the bottom there are a variety of buttons, like if you want to do all, there's that button, but then you can check out your common abilities like this. You check out in this case, I'm a sorcerer, so I would look at my sorcerer only. You can look at items this way. You can look at passives this way. You can look at the custom ones if you have any custom actions, spells, and items from your character sheet and inventory. And it's going to change slightly depending on what character you're looking at, because she's a cleric, so she has cleric spells. Will, in this case, is a warlock, so we could look at his warlock spells. Karlak is a barbarian, so we could look at her barbarian abilities and which ones are currently available to her based on what she is. But the key here is that the default view only gives you 2 slots across the bottom, and that's enough when you're first getting going because you're only going to have, a couple of main abilities, and you might get a spell or two, and then of course potions and everything else. So the first thing you're going to want to do is all the way over here on the right hand side, there's going to be a button that says toggle hotbar lock. Now this is very important to use because what you don't want, because I'm notorious for this, is you don't want to have this off. If you have this unlocked, you can drag items around like this right here. I just dragged it off the hotbar, and if you're not careful, which I used to do this a lot before I realized that you could lock the hotbar back during early access, I used to accidentally drag my dash and my jump off of my hotbar all the time. Now, if you ever do that by accident and you're not sure where those are, you can hit the K button on the mouse and keyboard, and this is going to bring up your window here, which you can then go into your common ability actions, and you can find things here. You can also find reactions in this tab as well as your sorcerer spells and abilities. But the one you're really looking for are the common actions down here that you might accidentally drag off the hotbar. So if you're like me and you did that, that's how you find those and drag them back. But in the meantime, what we want to do is keep this locked at pretty much all times unless you're in the process of setting up your hotbars. And if you're in the process of setting it up, which is what we're going to do here, we're going to configure this a little bit for you. You're going to unlock this so that you can drag and drop things around. The next most important thing to do here is there's this button here for increasing or decreasing rows. You could take it down to 2 is the minimum that you can have, but you can also increase this up to a maximum of 4, which allows you a lot more real estate across the bottom of your screen if you want to add more abilities here and see everything laid out a little bit more. Now you'll notice that not everything is full here. So if I wanted to go in here, I could start going into my, say, level 1 spell slots and say I want to take this out and drag it somewhere. You can. But the big thing here is going back into the default view. moving things around as you will so that you can say, well, I don't want that over there. I want to pull that over here. I'm going to pull that over here. I only want, I'm going to pull that over here. I'm going to pull that over here. You know, like coming in here and saying, I want all of my, you know, spells over here, and I want only the actions over on the other one. So let's bring this over here, and let's bring this over here. Let's bring this over here, bring that up over there, and then maybe put quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Babylonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with Super Chats on any live stream or premiere, or Super Thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. This over here and over here like so. Now we could also come in here and say, you know, if you want to bring out items and stuff, but you don't have to, because this gives you enough here to say, okay, this is what I want my default panel to look like. But then you can also go through here and mess with the other tabs as well as you desire, going to the items and passives and customs and play around with them for there. But the big thing to pay attention to is that once you've figured out how many rows do you want? Do you want 2 rows? Do you want 3 rows? Do you want 4 rows? You can move them accordingly. Important thing to note, though, is that it does save it. So also, if however you've laid it out, whether it's 2, 3, or 4, it will save the layout once you've finished, so that even if you reduce and then expand it again, it will accordingly adjust it, because it's already got that saved in the back end. And then when you're done, all you got to do is hit that toggle hotbar lock, and now I can hold and try to drag stuff like that right there, and it's not letting me drag it, which is amazing, because you don't want to accidentally lose things on the back end. Now, you can just go through here and do this for every single character, because it is unique to each character. You'll notice that my main has 4, but she only has 2. So if I wanted to do it for Shadowheart, I could go in here and do it from here. Also note that when you can add and subtract even with the hotbar locked, so that you can see all of the different things that she has available. But if you want to move things around, you've got to toggle the hotbar lock off. But I would just highly recommend that as soon as you're done, make sure to lock it again. Otherwise, you'll end up losing access to stuff. Oh, I accidentally clicked that. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Go to the next character. Oops. So open it up for all of them if you'd like, but it is dependent on each character, so make sure to go through all of them if you want. But not all of them necessarily need to have it. It just kind of depends on you and your play style. But as you get higher up in levels in particular, everybody's getting access to a dozen abilities, dozens of spells. You can start up to level 8, level 9, level 10, all the way up to 12, you're going to want to have these hotbars opened as much as you can so that you have access to everybody's abilities. But the big thing is just understanding that, you know, if you need to go into things from here, you can. You can go in here and pull things out from the common list, drag those down, do what you need to do with those, and go forth accordingly. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this right here, because this will be the thumbnail for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at 11 a.m. as we mentioned. There's lots of other things on the channel. Check out the playlist, check out the Discord, check out the member videos, and I'll see everybody in the next video or live stream. Until then, stay safe. Happy gaming, everybody.